Dear viewer, this video is available in Hindi as well. If you wish to watch it, please visit our Hindi YouTube channel, Drishti IAS. For your convenience, the link for this video in Hindi has been provided in the description below.
Hello friends, welcome to a new episode of Drishti IAS editorial analysis. In this editorial analysis, we do three things. First of all, we link the editorial to the UPSC syllabus. Secondly, we try to understand the key points of the editorial. And thirdly, if any key concepts have come in the editorial and are important from exam point of view, we also discuss that. So let us begin today's editorial analysis. We have taken today's editorial from the Hindu and it has appeared on 19th of June. The title of the editorial is At the High Table, and it says that India must adopt value-based positions at the UN Security Council and be the voice of the weaker nations. So let us look at its linkage with the syllabus. So it links directly with GS paper 2, where we have international relations, and under this we have important international institutions, agencies and fora, their structure and mandate. So here we will be discussing UN Security Council. So it links with this part of the UPSC syllabus. So after establishing the linkage with the syllabus, let us look at its key points. Before moving on to the key points of the editorial, let us understand what has happened. So India has been elected to the United Nations Security Council as a non-permanent member from the Asia Pacific category for a 2-year term on the night of June 17th. And this is a picture of the UN Security Council. And it is also known as horseshoe table because the shape of the table of UN Security Council is in the form of a horseshoe. So in this election, 4 other countries have made it to the UN Security Council as non-permanent members along with India. India has been elected from the Asia Pacific group and it was uncontested seat. Ireland and Norway have been elected from the Western Europe and others seat. Here Canada was also in contention but it lost out. Mexico was also elected unanimously from Latin America and Caribbean seat. And Kenya was elected from Africa seat where it had to fight off with Djibouti. And in the first round, both the countries could not get 2/3 of the votes. And in the second round, Kenya was able to defeat Djibouti and make it to the UN Security Council non-permanent members. So here we can look at the top priorities for India in the UN Security Council. So India will be focusing at effective response to international terrorism, which the UN must coordinate, and especially the UN Security Council. Secondly, it will also be looking at reforming the multilateral system to reflect contemporary realities because India is of the opinion and many other countries also believe that the UN and UN Security Council, they reflect the realities of 1945 and not of 21st century, and they need urgent reforms. Also, India has given a 5S approach which includes Samman, which is respect, Samvad, which is dialogue, Sahyog, which is cooperation, Shanti, which is peace, and Samriddhi, which is prosperity, as its approach to the world. And this has been coined by the Prime Minister. And through this 5S approach, India wants to move towards a new norm in international system. And here norm stands for new orientation for a reformed multilateral system, which is India's main objective in its role as a non-permanent member of the UN Security Council. And this has become important because the international governance system has come under increasing strain because of various challenges, especially now with the COVID-19 challenge, where none of the multilateral institutions have covered themselves with glory. Almost all the multilateral groupings and institutions have been found wanting in their response to the COVID-19 pandemic. Also, the global institutions have remained unreformed and underrepresentative and therefore unable to deliver when the world needs their services the most. Also, India is known in the world for its role as a voice of moderation, an advocate of dialogue, and a proponent of international law. So India has a very good international standing, and this has been the case since independence. And over the last few years, India's stature in the world has only increased. India has also highlighted some of the priority areas for its work in the UN Security Council, and these involve tackling international terrorism, also working towards UN reforms and UN Security Council expansion. India will also be working towards streamlining the UN peacekeeping operations and the technology initiatives undertaken by United Nations. But the most enduring objective of India will be norms, which is a new orientation for a reformed multilateral system. And here we should also note that this is the 8th time that India will be occupying a non-permanent UNSC seat, and the last stint was in 2011-12. These are the years when India has been member of UN Security Council, starting from 1950-51, 67-68, 72-73, 77-78, 84-85, 91-92, 11-12 and 2021-22 will be the latest one. And in this election, India was guaranteed a place in United Nations Security Council as it was the sole candidate for Asia Pacific seat, which is a grouping of 55 nations and which includes India baiters like China and Pakistan. But still, India got unanimous approval in June 2019. And Afghanistan, which was supposed to get this seat, it stepped aside for India. And this shows the friendship between the two countries. And in this UNSC elections, 2/3 of the votes of 193 members of United Nations General Assembly are needed to secure a seat. And the election is held through a secret ballot. So if 193 members vote, then 129 votes are needed to secure a seat. And the last time India had got 187 out of the 190 votes. And this time India has got 184 out of the 192 votes which have been polled. The other countries which have got elected along with India are Mexico, which got 187 votes, Ireland and Norway. They got 130 and 128 votes. And in the face-off between Kenya and Djibouti, Kenya finally won in the second round. And India will be starting its term in the United Nations Security Council from January 2021. And we should also know the permanent members of UNSC. So these are 5 members: US, UK, France, Russia and China, also known as P5. And they have veto powers. And the 10 non-permanent seats in the Security Council are allotted in this fashion. The 5 seats are for African and Asian countries, of which 3 are for Africa and 2 are for Asia. Plus there is an informal understanding between the Asian and African countries that they will reserve 1 seat for an Arab country. So 1 year Africa will keep a seat for the Arab country, and the next year Asia will keep the seat for an Arab country. And 1 seat is reserved for Eastern Europe countries, and 2 seats are for Latin American and Caribbean countries, and 2 seats are for Western European and other countries. So every year 5 members out of the 10 non-permanent members, they retire and new 5 members come to replace them. So after this basic background, let us look at editorial's key points. So editorial says that India has reached the high table of UN Security Council, but here India must follow a principled position and become the voice of the weaker nations. That would be the expectation from a country like India. And this victory of India is significant for a nation pushing for reforms at the global institutions. And no doubt India was the only contestant from the Asia Pacific seat, but there is secret ballot at the United Nations General Assembly and 2/3 of the votes are needed. But still India got 184 votes, which shows India's goodwill and good standing among the nations of the world. And India sought support from other countries for its commitment to multilateralism and reforms. Also, India released a campaign brochure just before the election to the UNSC, and this campaign brochure highlighted India's main plank, what it plans to do in the UN Security Council. So India will be pushing for demand of transparency in the mandates for the peacekeeping missions undertaken by the United Nations. And it will also push for a comprehensive convention on international terrorism, CCIT, which has been facing hurdles. Also, India will be looking at joint efforts for UN reforms and expansion of the UN Security Council, which is its long stated objective. And also India has proposed norms, which is a new orientation for a reformed multilateral system, and India will be working on that principle. But the editorial says that achieving these objectives would depend on how India will be able to conduct diplomacy in the global body, how it will be able to build alliances with other countries, and how it will be able to raise issues that go beyond the interest of P5. Because as of today, P5 members, they hold the keys to the UN Security Council, and only matters that concerns these P5 members, that only gets discussed in the UN Security Council. And also they use their veto powers to push their agendas. So India will have to use its diplomatic clout to go beyond the interest of the P5 members. And India for long has believed that the structure of UN Security Council does not reflect the reality of the 21st century, and it reflects only the 1945 global order, which needs to be reformed now. But these reforms are resisted the most by the P5 members, the permanent five, who have been enjoying the perks of power. But the editorial says that there is an opportunity in the COVID 19 pandemic which has shaken up the global order, and it has also sharpened the rivalry between US and China, which are both members of the P5. And it has also opened fresh debates on strengthening of the multilateralism and multilateral institutions, because countries have realized that none of the multilateral institutions have actually been able to address the challenge of this COVID 19 pandemic, and it has been left to individual nations to fend for themselves. So, this is as good as any other time to go for reforms in the multilateral institutions. And UN Security Council remains one of the most important multilateral decision making body in the world, and it needs urgent reforms. At the same time, the editorial cautions that India will have to avoid taking sides, as UN Security Council has now become extremely polarized because of the tensions between US and China. And India must take only value based positions, principled stands on global issues, as well as India must look at giving leadership to the non permanent members of the UN Security Council and become the voice of the weaker nations, which will help in raising India's profile despite lacking the money or the muscle that US or China has. So, this was all in the key points of the editorial. Now, let us look at the kind of questions that can be asked in PT and mains. So, in prelims, one can be asked about UN Security Council elections of 2020, which are the countries which have won the election, what is the process of election, how much majority is needed, how many votes are needed, and the groups from which countries are elected. Also, a question can be on UN Security Council reforms. Also about India, how many times it has been elected to UN Security Council, when was the previous term for India in the UN Security Council, and question can be asked on United Nations or UN Security Council as well. So one should be prepared on that. In mains, question can be asked on UN Security Council reforms, India's role in UN Security Council, and a general question can be on the reforms needed in multilateral institutions because of the challenges being thrown up by climate change crisis and the COVID-19 pandemic. So one should be prepared on those fronts. So this was all in today's editorial analysis. We'll see you next time with another editorial. Thank you.